A year ago, the challenge of this project was to design a game with a sufficiently long lifespan to consider future commercialization. That is why the team deemed it more strategic to create, during the second year at the National Film and Television School, a short demo of the imagined game. The objective was clear: to gather feedback from industry professionals, tutors, as well as players from all backgrounds, in order to obtain solid foundations before beginning the expansion of the project. The story already existed, so the demo was set near the start of the narrative, giving players a chance to explore the lore and the world. A short animated introduction quickly sets the scene. Since the game takes place in the 1960s, the animation and VFX feature minimalist, almost caricature-like black and white visuals with a neo-noir feel and a touch of cartoon.
Welcome to the 2025 EGX Comic-Con event. Today you will follow Joy, a young woman on her way to Jeff Pett's house, the man she has been dating, for a romantic dinner. On the way, she talks on the phone with her friend Mary about her romance. Mary broke up with her ex-boyfriend, whose strange behavior led him to offer her a puppet. A puppet with a name. Arriving early, Joy finds Jeff preoccupied and is asked to wait in the living room. As she charges her phone and explores the living room, a sudden strange noise draws her down the hallway. What begins as an ordinary evening is about to take a strange turn, and you are about to step into the unknown.
The story prioritizes surprise rather than obvious scares. Unlike many horror games where characters wake up in haunted houses or psychiatric hospitals, tension builds gradually. It begins with puzzles, then strange events appear, until the experience starts to feel genuinely eerie, reminiscent of The Wicker Man or Rosemary's Baby. The demo does not reach full horror, but it gives a glimpse of the game's direction. Testers were often surprised to find a cozy, retro vintage setting instead of typical horror environments. The contrast is intentional, a sense of safety in a familiar world disrupted by unsettling events. The game centers on televisions acting as portals. If a player is trapped in a room with a Telescape TV, it can be used to travel to another switched-on TV, provided the correct channel is known. First-person perspective enhances immersion, while movement, weight, and a cinematic camera make every action feel tangible. Players can interact with objects, inspect them, and use an inventory to manage collected items. All systems function together, but the experience still needed a central object to tie it all together. Something memorable, like a cowboy's revolver. That is how the idea of the remote control was born.
You've pressed the button on your remote, and now what awaits you beyond this screen is no longer just a channel. It is a new perception. A perception where your screen becomes a passage that gives you control that lets you travel between worlds. The past, the present, and the future are yours to explore. Your senses will never be the same again, and with Telescape, all you need to awaken them is your remote. Welcome to the Telescape dimension.
Telescape Technologies is the company behind these high-tech devices. It sells consumer products and links the televisions to the Telescape remote control through design and narrative. With the remote, gameplay shifted. Puppets and other environment interactions became secondary, while the remote became the main mechanic, allowing televisions to be switched on, off, and tuned remotely. Tele refers to television, scape to escape, a nod to the afternoon shows once aimed at housewives. In this game, however, the player is a woman seeking televisions to escape her surroundings. These portal televisions become a way out. With these core elements in place, development could begin. The prototype helped identify an estimated playtime between 25 and 40 minutes, too long for a demo. It therefore became necessary to tighten the experience. even if it meant removing already created content in order to reach a duration between 10 and 20 minutes. The advantage of the prototype lay in the modularity of the puzzles, which were easily interchangeable and repositionable, facilitating redesign. In parallel, the script was revised and sent to the selected actors. Each line of dialogue was detailed, accompanied by notes on intonation and context. Logistically, the list of elements required to realize the project began to take shape. Intensive recruitment mobilized talent from multiple disciplines. Cinematography, where lighting work was fundamental to achieving the desired visual style. Animation, for mechanics and visual content. 2D artists contributed extensively to the creation of the lore, as well as the visual content of the environment. 3D artists responsible for environments and interactive objects. Each 3D object required meticulous work. All possessed specific behaviors, demanding supervision and anticipation. The Telescape remote control required particular attention. Dynamic buttons, integrated screen, visual interactions with televisions, indicator light signaling connection. The puppets were likewise designed with distinct personalities. Some appeared harmless until their gazes began to follow the player. Programming needed to respond to a major constraint: player unpredictability. Playtests revealed an unavoidable truth. Human behavior cannot be entirely predicted. A robust structure was therefore necessary to connect all systems: inventory, remote control, televisions, puzzles, narrative.
Jeff?
The music introduced a deliberate contrast, an almost naive melody inspired by 1970s radio sounds, accompanied by more unsettling lyrics. The song referenced a mysterious wooden man, a key element of the story.
Watch out for the wooden man. Make sure you run away from him. He'll kiss you if he can. Help, help, help. The puppet is almost here.
The sound design work was colossal. Footsteps, audio textures, audio reactions, every detail contributed to immersion.
Perfect timing.
Following this came the marketing phase of the project. The poster, entirely redrawn by hand to preserve its retro aesthetic. The physical creation of the Telescape remote control technology. And finally, the trailer for the game Cycle.
Jeff? Are you here?
For me?